Today we have a live session about how to start or how to begin drawing, how to come back to drawing, to creativity. And today we will have a very special guest, an artist who creates daily, and I will ask her about her drawing routine and how she returns to drawing. So today you're welcome to ask any questions considering how to start to create. If for some reason maybe you were drawing when you was a child and enjoyed it a lot, but now you feel like you have so much daily things to do and just can't find time for drawing, even if you are really fond of this topic of creation. So we will wait a couple of minutes of the guest. Elana, if you're here, please let me know. Or I think I can just invite you with typing your name here. Give me a second, please. Yeah, I sent you an invitation. Wait, there's, I don't know, for some reason there is an effect on the image and I don't know how to. Hi, Elana.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
We're
How
good.
are
you? Good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm great. I just accidentally turned off some kind of effect on the video. Now I don't know.
I see it.
How to close it. Here maybe. Yeah. Well,
Good.
I want to be real, not without the smoothing effects. But yeah, okay. Please introduce yourself. You're an artist, you're a graphic designer. If you can share with us a little bit about your artistic background, your experience, just to give us a general picture of your life as an artist.
All right.
Great.
So I went to school for architecture and I actually work as an architect. But I moved to Alaska. I'm from Colombia. I have to start with it. And so I moved to Alaska 4 years ago, and then I decided that it was going to be a good experience just to open up and try different things, right? Because also getting the license and validating the degree would be like a whole different experience, and you just have to adjust to your new situation. And I couldn't work in the very first month since I got here, because obviously you have to wait for immigration and all that stuff. So I was at home and I was like, okay, I've always wanted to paint, and a friend gave me like a watercolor notebook and a brush. And so I said, okay, I have free time, let's just start painting. And then I don't know, it kind of took off from there. I wanted to learn more and I want to be better at it. So I started looking for classes, and then I found your classes. And it was funny because I was looking for art supplies and I found the postcard markers and I bought them not knowing what to do with them. And then Instagram showed me the ads for Domestika and your class. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. I don't know what to do with the markers. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And it was so nice to feel like, oh, I'm capable of doing this, like I don't have to be like this super realistic and crazy perfect artist, and it helped me explore different things. And so, and like you've been like a serious part of my creative journey.
How old were you when you tried first to draw with postcard markers? Approximately.
This was like, I was 31. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
I think it's just important for others to know that you can start something new when you are not 18 years old. I know, and it's okay. Right? It's totally normal. Yeah, because I see many creative who start drawing and creating after 30, and it's really okay, and it's great when you hear yourself that, oh, I want to create, really I want to draw. And why? Because there may be sometimes an opinion that you have to start something from the very beginning when you were a child, And if you didn't attend an art school, and if you didn't study in the university for related with art, then maybe you can't draw.
That's true. Like there's also like this mentality that if you want to be good at something, then you have to start from childhood. But like we all have different life stories. I didn't have the opportunity to do that. And like choosing a career, my parents were like, you need to focus on something that gives you stability, financial stability. And like nobody thought being an artist was going to give you that back then. So like I chose architecture because it was like the closest to an artistic path, but also who would give me like a structure, right? And even though it's a great profession and it gave me a lot that I'm very grateful for, it's not like really what makes me happy because I had to focus on many technical details that are not so creative, you know? So like thanks to that architecture background, I could the funny thing about being a graphic designer now is that I started as being an assistant for a realtor, and then she knew together, making it like presentations beautiful. And then after working with her for a while, I figured I could do this, like on my own. I started to do it freelance. Freelance for being a freelance, you need to know a lot of people to really like having a lot of clients. And it's like since I'm basically new here, I just still need to like build up that network, I guess. Such a weird word for me to say, but um, and then I don't know, I got another job and met other people that are artists, and it just kind of makes sense to follow what you like to do and like what you feel like you're capable of doing. It kind of opens up the path. I'm not gonna say like, oh, I am this super successful artist and I sell paintings and like everybody knows me, but like I feel in a way being able to do what I like makes the path successful, because I feel happy doing what I do, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I know. I also started to draw because I wanted to feel happy, not thinking much about how successful I can become, just drawing some art, some patterns. But for some reason, also it's really scary to go to university to study art, not the design. The same. I choose graphic design. You chose architecture, and I hear many stories from creative who chose graphic something, design something instead of um, art, because I think it's just scary. It's something not you feel not safe choosing studying on
True.
artist. Maybe now situation changed. I hope so, but years ago in my country it was so.
Yeah, that's true. I think, yeah, I think things have changed, like, and there's people who can be influencers, so why not being an artist?
Mhm.
Right?
It's interesting also to know for watching us if you can relate to any of these stories. It would be interesting to get your comments. And Eliana, can we try something? I hear the sound not very loud. Maybe if you can get
Without
earphones, maybe.
yeah, let me try.
Maybe the sound. I don't know. Who's watching in the online? Please type if you can hear
I
Eliana as
can hear
well.
you. Is it better?
Say something
Is it better?
more. No, I think it's the sound now is a little bit better. Before that, it was like the structures a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, don't worry. So I have some questions for you. Do you remember what initially sparked your interest in art and graphic design? What was that first? Maybe you have this first moment when you thought, yeah, I really want. You shared with us this postcard markets, but how it was? Can you describe that moment, or maybe it was another moment when you just thought, I really want to draw something with my hands.
I think maybe when I was a kid, like I was in a like an art class for a little bit. That was like part of like community classes. You know, I my mom signed us up for that. My sister was on like musical classes. Like I think she was in guitar or something, and she signed me up for paint, and that was really fun. It didn't last long, so in life change and when I was in school, all the art classes, I was like really happy. I was always like happy to do something with my hands, to create something. My grandma taught me how to knit, and she was always telling us whatever you learn in life is going to be useful for you. You know, like you don't know where life is going to take you, so learn everything you can. And like everyone, I think in my family has this curiosity to do something, you know. Uh, in in architecture school also, like building the 3D models, oh, that gave me so much joy. You know, like I could spend hours cutting the piece of cardboard and putting everything together, and focusing on how to present the project was really like, oh, I like this. But I could not really dedicate much time to that because like you have to think about other stuff and actually creating the building and the design, right? And then I don't know, having all this free time waiting for a job permit, you know, we just okay, let's do this thing that I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I haven't had the time or the opportunity to do, right? And so when I really got those postcard markers, it was just like, oh my God, this is paint. And it's like in this tiny pencil that I can actually shape the way I wanted. It was just like magic. It's like, oh my goodness, this is like, and it's like this really good feeling of like I can paint this whole surface is gonna look smooth. I don't know. It was great. I mean, watercolor was fun, but I feel like it requires more patience. And at the time, I was like, I need to get better. I need to try things. And I've always been like someone who wants to try different things. And so, like, the postcards were great to do in different styles, you know? It was like, wow, this is like the tool.
Yeah. And do you remember when now you draw regularly every morning? Yeah, am I right?
I try
Well,
to. I try to.
almost every
Yeah.
morning. Do you remember when you started to do these routines, creative routines in the morning?
It wasn't so long ago. Before it was like once every 2 weeks.
Not bad
Um,
too.
yeah,
It's not bad. It's also great.
and or sometimes once a month. Sorry, but I think it was last year when I decided. I mean, I just have to make some time, just a little bit of time, every morning or at any like break that I have at work, just to draw something.
But what
Yeah.
was the game changer? Why you decided
Um,
since today I am going to draw daily?
it was like I had this idea like I want to be an illustrator, like I wanted to create like an illustrated book, and then I saw my drawing skills for that and said I need to improve, you know, and to improve I need to practice more. And yeah, i I want to I want to give this a try. And then doing it I realized, oh, I mean, I don't have to make a perfect drawing, I just have to do it. And eventually, I mean, or I end up liking what I do, or I just like get better. You know, like something will happen. um yeah, I think that was the trigger also. um it's like a moment for myself, and it's really good for my mental health, makes me a better person. Like if I have the time and like I separate like those 15 minutes, sometimes that's all I can do, right? And I'm so much better, so much um calm. Yeah. And
So
also, I mean, I had the experience before or of incorporating something to my routine slowly. When I was working as an architect, I was working almost like 24/7, you know, like I had no breaks, no rest. So I decided to start doing yoga every morning just for myself. It was something that I wanted to do. And I started with 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And then I started to like it because I was getting better at it. And then it was kind of like my my test my test drive, and so I knew it was possible to do it, and decided to stick with it.
Can you please describe your creative routine? So, at what time you wake up? Where are your art supplies? What do you do first? How it works for you?
Well, it has changed. Right now, I wake up at 5 a.m.
5 a.m.
Yeah, because I have to go to work at 9. And so I wake up at 5 so I have time to draw before going to work. Sometimes I have other work to do. So what I do is bring my art supplies with me to work. And whenever I have a break, I do it at work and take the photo. And then I just bring with me like four colors, and then a water brush. And with that, like, oh, okay, it doesn't have to be like this super detailed picture. So sometimes it's that. And if, for example, I have some drawing club exercise, then I just think, okay, I need a bigger marker, or I'm just gonna prepare my sketchbook with something, and then I'll keep on working on that. But I think, yeah, I think it's first thing in the morning. It's really good to do it. Sometimes what I do first thing in the morning is going to yoga, and then when I get back, I do my drawings. It just kind of depends on what's happening that day, you know.
So, do you have at home a special place where you create and
I
have all the tools?
I do have like my home office, which works as a art studio. And so I have all my art supplies here. It's displays. You can see some of the calligraphy brushes in the back. So I've been spreading all over this place. Yeah.
Can you say so that having these art materials waiting for you helps you to keep this morning routine to draw daily?
It does, because you have access, and then it's kind of inviting me, like, oh, I have all this, because being a kid, you always wanted to have all those art supplies. Right now you're an adult and you have them. It's like, I need to use them, like, oh, or I leave them on the table waiting for me, and then I just continue to do it. Or just within reach that I can see them. That's like the main part for me. Like, they have to be available. Having them makes a difference.
And I also know and seen on your Instagram account that you often make these real time lapse how you draw these morning sketches. Can you share with us why do you do this? Why do you film this process and share it?
Well,
What does it mean for you?
in the beginning, it was more like to see what I was doing, just to be more aware of what was my maybe creative thinking at the moment. And I also thought, it's like, after watching, it's like, this is very relaxing, like seeing someone doing this and then seeing the end result is kind of satisfying too, you know. Yeah, it's also like a way to keep myself accountable, like, okay, I did this, and so I share this, and it doesn't matter, like, this is what I do. So kind of takes a little bit of like that insecurity of like, if am I good enough or not. It's just like, man, this is it. This is what I did. Like, look, this is my own hand, and this is like, it's kind of bear witness. This is what it is. Like the behind the scenes. I kind of find it cool to have that.
Does it make it kind of more real when you share it on social media, the creative process?
I think so. I think it like, even though it's not like, oh wow, I have big audience, it's more like I I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, saying, okay, this is what I do, because I've received different opinions about what I do. Some people think, oh, this is too much color, it's not for me, or like, oh, it's not realistic enough, I don't think it's art. So it's like, oh, it's okay. I mean, it's good to know that, because at the same time, you just have to find your own validation and, yeah, make yourself comfortable with what you do. Like, I think sharing it also has helped me find other people who do the same stuff and see them growing too. It's kind of like having my Instagram for me is having an art journal, and I could see all that I've done. I've seen my growth, I've seen like my mistakes, and it's like, oh wow, this is cool. Like, I have like this whole portfolio of experience.
Yeah, I love this, that scrolling your own feed, you can see the transformations,
Yeah,
which we can't notice when we just create daily. And when we scroll down and say, oh, yeah, I did this, and now I see the changes. And
yeah.
I think it's even can inspire to continue.
It does, yeah. Or like, oh, maybe I should start doing this again and try with this new technique, or it kind of inspires you again.
Mm-hmm. And do you remember any challenges? What are the main challenges in daily creating, regular filming, and posting your creative process? What challenges do you have?
Time. Time is such a challenge, finding the time to do it. The whole thing, right? Because you can draw and not share it, like, as long as you're doing it's okay. But then it's just a challenge would be, okay, I'm gonna edit this reel, or what music. um I need to let this dry, and then to finish it in another session. Yeah, sometimes it takes days to finish one piece, and so it's like, I can't post anything today, or I'll post the just on the stories the process, and let's hope for the best. um, yeah, it's time mostly.
Mm-hmm. And how do you think, what helps you the most to stay consistent? What is your secret? How do you do this?
I really love it. It really makes me feel good. And so, like, I I want to do it. Like, I know what it is, what it feels like to be on the other side, wanting to be an artist and having the desire, but not doing anything about it. And it sucks. It feels awful. So I'd rather do it, even though it's not the expectation or the idea of an artist. I rather say, yeah, I am an artist. This is how I am, and I do something a little bit every day to make that happen. It just kind of makes me feel peaceful that I am doing something about it.
And what role does the creative community plays in your development?
I
Do you maybe remember some moments when creative community helps you somehow maybe, or
Yeah, inspiration also to keep going, because I see other people doing it too. It's like, like motivation, like we're in this together, and kind of thing. So it's like, it feels nice to know that I'm not alone doing this. There's other people who are in the same path. We all have different styles and things, but like, what matters the most is that we're there. Like, you don't feel, because like, I kind of feel like I live at the world's end. I'm like disconnected from the world, living in Alaska. So it's like, it's nice to know that I'm part of like the world in a way, like, okay, there's other people like-minded, and we're doing this. It feels good.
and how often, where, and how do you connect with other creatives, with other like-minded artists?
Through Instagram, through your drawing club. What else? Other classes, Patreon, but mostly through Instagram, I think.
And do you often comment, write comments on other artists?
I do. I do. Yeah, not all the time because sometimes you're just like scrolling, you see it and you like it. But yeah, I try to do it because if I really like it, I want the other person to know that this is really good. And I mean, I see when they reply, like, "Oh, thank you so much." Like, we all want that, you know?
Also interesting, what are the most important creative projects have you done this year? What are the most valuable for you? What makes some changes to your artistic journey?
I think having that creative voice class with you was really like really, really life changing. In knowing myself more as an artist, knowing my style, what I like, what I'm drawn towards. Um, it also gave me more confidence in being an artist and like calling myself an artist. And I really appreciated that because in my new job, I had the opportunity to have an art show and show my stuff, right? And so I felt like I could do it. Like in any other moment of my life, I would say, no, I don't have good stuff for this, you know. But then I was like, hey, I mean, this is my style. I'm gonna share it with other people, and it was awesome. People like I received good comments on it. Like obviously, there's what's the word? What's the saying in English? I forgot. Like everybody likes different things. But it was really nice to see other people engaging with what you do and wanting to know more. And yeah.
I remember your beautiful dress, the knitting dress with your pattern. It was really very inspiring to see it, and you hold it with the postcard. Also, Alana, I received you. I forgot to say. Wait a minute. I received your postcard.
Oh my goodness! Nice.
Yeah. It was such a lovely surprise to find it in their post.
It's such a
Mailbox.
leap of faith, you know, sending a postcard that you don't know if it's gonna get there.
Yeah,
I'm so happy.
Layers, so it's so
Yeah.
beautiful. And here's the message from me. Thank you so much. It's I love it so much.
Oh, I'm so happy.
So about your dress with patterns, and also then next you did this jacket with embroidery, and these projects are they more for fun, or I don't know, or when I did something with my hands, I love it because it means something to me. It's not only in a sketchbook, which I also love, but when you have some object with your art, for me it's very inspiring and also means something. And how it works for you?
I think I can relate totally to that because for me it's cool to have art on the walls or on the sketchbook, but like having it on your everyday stuff for me is like mind blowing. Like I do it for fun. I do it for fun because the patterns, you know, like you're thinking, ah, this will look cool on this, and then I just give it a try, you know, like, oh, I need to see this. And the jacket, like wearing that jacket has been like such a hit that I have a commission to make another one, and I'm working on one. And so it's like, oh my god, this is so cool. And it's like, it's your art, it's walking around on the streets, you know, like that is so cool. It's just like
really cool.
Yeah.
What else I wanted to ask you? Maybe I don't know. What tips can you share any tips for others who may be just dreaming about start drawing or come back to drawing? What would you recommend, suggest to do?
I would say ask yourself what you want to do it, and then do it. sit down, take 10 minutes and do it a little bit every day. It doesn't have to be this crazy, elaborate painting. Just do something small, start small. And sometimes you're going to stay small for a long time and it's okay. You know, like it's so cool just to grab like a sketchbook and see everything that you've done. You know, it's really cool, you know, to have that, and you have that for yourself. So just do it because it's good for you, because you like it, because um, seeing how you are working towards your dream, it is just like it's priceless. There's nothing like it, you know. It's worth it. It's worth sitting down and taking those 10 minutes and try different things. I mean, I know art materials are expensive. I work for them basically. But I mean, try different things, sign up for classes online, find people that you like, and then explore, you know, like give yourself permission to do what you want to do.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the last question, what artistic goal do you have now? Maybe what are the projects that you would love to work on?
Well, I really like having art on clothes. And so I kind of want to experiment more with that, maybe trying a collage of fabrics on and creating something like that. I want to learn to dye fabrics and make patterns with that. Um, yeah, I have so many ideas, and I don't know how I'm gonna do them, but yeah, maybe explore a little bit more, like having art on everyday stuff. You know, I really like that more than having it in a gallery. I feel like it's so much cooler to see people walking around with your stuff on it. You know, I don't know, maybe.
Sounds wonderful. I would love to see all of that. Yeah, but we have to focus
Yes.
on the start. Yeah, but that sounds wonderful. Can wait to see. Thank you so much. It was a big pleasure for me to talk with you, and I really inspired with your artistic journey and how consistent you are on creating art and how brave you are to share it. No matter what other, I don't know, no matter whatever, you just do this, and this is the best way to develop your artistic style and to create and to explore art world. So.
No, thank you. It's always a fun experience for me to talk to you.
Thank you very much. And once again, thank you for this beauty.
Oh, yay.
Wish you a wonderful day. It's an early morning for you. Thank you also for coming so early.
No problem.
Yeah.
Now you know I wake up at 5 a.m.
Thank you very much. Have a
You
wonderful day and hope to
too.
see you soon.
Yes.
In the drawing club, by
Yes.
the way. See you. Bye.
Bye.